Hey everyone, welcome back into the film room. Today, we have not broken down a hard point on Apocalypse yet, so that's what we're going to be doing in this scrim between OpTic and LAG. If you guys watched this one, or if you saw the results from this one, this was an absolute blowout, and actually, OpTic's kind of been blowing out everybody on this map. We saw it against Wester, we saw it against LAG, we saw it a couple other times against different teams, even LA Thieves, just in the last few days or so. So I figured with a new map, and this is now officially part of the rotation, we would dive into it, we would break it down, we would go through all the points and show you where you want to be as it rotates from one hard point to the next. Also, first, they also included Express S&D. That map is fantastic for search and destroy, so I look forward to watching that. And also, I think this move really helps OpTic because so far, they seem really strong on this map, and Crossroads was the map that was removed. So if you're taking out Crossroads and you're putting in a map like this that they seem really good on off the rip, that can really only help OpTic as it heads into stage 2. But with that, you can see that there's already a massive lead. It's currently 47-2. P2 just popped. So let's go ahead. Let's bring up the minimap and show you what exactly we're working with at this point in time. So let's pause this. Let's bring up our mini map for the first time, and we're currently inside of P2, which is over here. OpTic did get the initial spawn that you want, so even when it was P1, OpTic got this spawn and LAG got this spawn. If, of course, you are playing this map, you want to get the right-hand side of the hill spawn, because then you can just try to contest or get time in P1, hold spawns for P2, and you'll be good from there. So currently it is over towards P2. OpTic still has this spawn, and really what they're watching, you can have somebody on this broken heady watching this push through P4, and you can have somebody in the back of the map just watching the push through their flank. If you're LAG, what you're trying to do as you come up off of spawn, sure, if you want to try to push through this broken building right here, you can go for it. Probably not going to work out great for you. So a lot of times what you see teams do is try to push through mid. If you get control of mid, then from here you can hit this jump up by mid map to try to get to P2, or you can try to overtake spawns by hitting the flank. And once you get control of this area, now you're going to end up getting these spawns, which is going to take OpTic and spawn them out. However, that's not what's happening at the moment. So as we go back over, you can see that they just have control of mid-map. You saw Envoy get a kill right there through Broken. They're just completely pushed out. If you're LAG, this is basically worst case scenario, right? You don't have control of the hill. You don't have those back spawns. You don't even have control around mid-map. If you're trying to think like, you know, how do we go about breaking P2? You at least have to get control of mid-map so that the options are open to hit that mid-cut or to hit through the back flank, and they're just not being successful at all at any of that. As it rotates over here to P3, you can see that P3 is, again, pretty much a contested hardpoint. I like where Envoy's going right here because, as you can see, OpTic has control of P3, but the way that you control a contested hardpoint, you see a lot of this in Checkmate or any other map, is just to push a little bit further than the 50-yard line. And again, I know that we're breaking down this a lot, but I want to make sure it's the very first time. I want to make sure we're 1,000% of it. So if you're in P3, you're either going to have this spawn or you're going to have this spawn. So right now, OpTic is coming from P2, so they currently have this spawn. But again, if this is all contested right here in the middle of the map, if you lose one team gunfight, you're going to end up losing P3. So the way that they're holding it down, as you see Envoy doing at the moment, is just pushing this back flank. Once you get into this P5 building, now you can get kills in this area of the map. The rest of OpTic is also pushed out right here. And once you get kills in this range, now that's going to take LAG. It's going to keep them back here in this spawn. And eventually, as we move to P4, you want to take LAG and you want to flip this spawn so that as it comes over to P4, you're now getting this back spawn. That would give you the advantage for P4 and eventually P5. So we'll go ahead, we'll hop back over, and this so far is just as good as it could possibly be. It's currently 106-6. They've already got a 100-point lead. ENVOY is shredding. I think he goes 33-12 or something like that this game, which is why we're watching it from his point of view. But this is just an absolute beatdown. Right now, there's 20 seconds left inside of that hard point. You can see that the spawns did flip. So as it rotates over to P4, P4 really is another pretty contested hard point, really. It's out in the open. If you get control of P4, then you can either push up in towards Cubby, kind of where ENVOY's at right here, or you can push up in towards Broken. As long as you just control the cuts where the enemy's team spawn is coming from, then you're going to do a decent job of holding down that time inside of P4. And you can see that ENVOY is watching mid right here. As long as he has control of mid, and as long as somebody else from OpTic is pushed up inside of Broken, there's literally no way that LAG can get there. It's just impossible. Unbelievable trigger discipline right there from ENVOY. He easily could have snapped on Apathy as Apathy ran by. He decided to wait just a moment. He was able to then get a two-piece as more ran in from behind. They did actually end up losing the hard point for just a second, but it's not being held very long. And now, as it's about to rotate over towards P5, they're going to have that locked down as well. Again, let's go ahead. Let's pause it. We talked about where you want to be. If you have this spawn and you have control of P4, the only things that you have to watch is the push through Broken right here by P2 and the push through mid right here. If you have that locked down, there's literally no other way that LAG coming from this side of the map can get to P4. Those are the only two places. And now if you're LAG, you might want to start thinking about sending a player or two on a long flank all the way over here to this spawn, because at least if you get this spawn, you're going to have control of P5 and you can start to work back some of that time. But if you don't have that, then things really get into trouble, because if you're inside of P5, you can really hold this from either side, but this is obviously the more dominant spawn. And once you do that, there's one tiny choke point right here, and there's really just a path or two here in the mid that LAG can push through to get to P5. So P5 and P2 are absolutely money hills on this map. If you have control of them, it's probably going to end up going pretty well for you. And that's what we're seeing. So just so that we can listen in, we can hear a little bit in terms of what their call outs are, where they're heading, where they're looking, because that's all stuff that's super informational. Let's go ahead. I'm going to turn up the team comms. This is an absolute beatdown. Let's listen into their team comms as we're almost through the first set of rotations here.
Use your nades. Oh, what the?
ENVOY just stuck Dashy.
Should be low right still.
I'm still alive on top.
Meeting out front. Here, Dill. What's right after you, Dill?
The back of me.
Let's get time.
Push out.
Really weak.
Maintain current posture.
Just like that, for a brief moment, you saw ENVOY look back towards this back spawn. They didn't have those initial spawns. They get one team wipe. They get back inside the hard point. You heard Scump say they should be spawning on me. Now they're spawning over by P3. They have control of P5, and the lead continues to grow.
I have streaks, guys. I have streaks. Trench, dead app. I'm pinging. Yo, one TVs, one hill, and one left. Hill and broken. Hill and broken.
Yeah, I have 2 pinch. Left. Do it one time.
No, one low right, and then on time behind the barrel set.
They're mid weak.
I'm streaking over you guys. I streaked broken and temple.
Right here, I have left.
Temple's one.
I got one temple.
I'm getting a TV.
Yeah, you go low right.
I'm broken.
Yeah.
Go broken, last guy coop.
I'm looking at Coop. They're flipping.
He looked like he pushed through.
Yeah, flip, guys. I have all Coop. I've called. He probably hit broken.
I think you stopped broken.
One's ammo.
How many Coop hurt? Dead.
One's ammo. I don't know.
Oh, guys, low trenches.
Let's get low. We went off this.
Nice,
Nice.
good
New
job.
spawns.
Yeah, they're spawning couple.
I'm streaking. Yo, look my Coop maybe. Look Coop was on time.
Temple, silly, one shot, broken.
Yeah, mid map.
Let's go.
And just like that, we've got a victory, a 250-31 victory. That is an absolute beatdown. Wow. I actually thought Envoy went 32-12, and he went 32-4. Yikes. Look at that score on the left-hand side. He had almost 8,000 score. Nobody from LAG even got to 1,000. Dude also had 4,000 damage. Formal had 3,800 damage. Talk about an absolute beatdown there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown. I wanted to go through, talk about each of the hard points as it rotates from P1 to P5. We're going to be seeing this map quite a bit as it is now officially in the rotation. So with that, if you guys are new around here, you enjoy these videos out of the film room, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a like if you don't mind, as it helps out the channel. And with that, thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next upload.